see that?
You clap.
1, 2, 1, 2. Ready? So this is what we call professional notes for professional video. What are we talking about today? Okay, we're jumping right into it. We're talking about the transfer window. We're talking about who's being dumb, who's being smart. You know, obviously it's not a competition. There's no first place or last place for the transfer window, but there are some losers and there are some winners. First thing we have to talk about today, it's got to be Chelsea. Okay, they're on the losing side of the bracket right now. Just let me explain. Okay, before you guys just fucking get down there in the comments and keep tapping the fucking dislike button. What's Chelsea doing? Okay, so, new day, they get a new manager. Sorry, great guy, loves his family. And then that same day, they signed Jorginho, who's a great center mid. Okay, I have no hate towards him. But you're looking at a team that already has 5 center mids, 5 active playing center mids. Okay, you got Drinkwater, Barkley, Bakayoko, Fabregas, Conte. Okay, so 4 out of these center mids, okay, everyone besides Conte is just awful. Okay, I wouldn't say they're awful. Okay, they're just not making the cut anymore. When you don't have any credible sources saying that Chelsea's either selling these center mids or putting them on loan or, just firing them, I don't know. But that basically means that Chelsea has 6 active center mids right now. Obviously, midfield wins you games. We all know that. But when you're a team like Chelsea and you're not worrying about your attack, okay, when you have Giroud and Morata as your strikers, and you also have rumors about Hazard leaving, this just isn't looking good for Chelsea. So the reason why I'm putting them on the loser side of the bracket is because you're looking at a team that obviously is getting a lot of center mids more than they need, and they're not worrying about actual serious weak links in their team, basically talking about their attack. If we bring over the first winners, okay, in my opinion, a lot of you guys might not agree with me when I say this, but the first winners on this list has to be Arsenal. Okay, I know, I watch Arsenal TV. I've seen them time and time again disappoint their fans. But this is a new team. Okay, you're looking at the first time in 22 years they have a different manager. Not only do they have a different manager, but you're looking at a team that had a lot of weak points in their defense, and obviously they're aiming to change that with this transfer now. Okay, with the signings of Socrates and Lichtsteiner, okay, 2 very experienced defenders. Obviously they weren't world class in their prime, but you're looking at Lichtsteiner, who, he's one of those defenders that rarely makes any mistakes, like 0 errors. And Socrates, he kind of plays like a Chiellini and Barzagli. I wouldn't put him on their level, but they're just people that like to sit back. Okay, they don't always have to join the attack. That's why I think those 2 signings are really going to improve their backline, especially when you have someone like Mustafi, who had probably one of the worst fucking seasons I've seen in a defender. So these improvements really help them back there. So this is a team that really doesn't have to worry about their attack like Chelsea does. But with the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Mkhitaryan, you're looking at some world-class finishers, playmakers, people to get into open space, especially in the box. But Arsenal really had a shaky midfield. Okay, with the likes of Mohamed Elneny, however the fuck you say his name, with the loss of Jack Wilshere, Santi Cazorla, both having a lot of injuries that stop them from continuously playing at their full potential. And Ozil, who had a very shaky second half of the season, Arsenal really looks to buff up their midfield. That's why they have the signing of Lucas Torreira. You're looking at a player who had a great World Cup. He had a great last season in the Serie A. The Lucas is this type of player who's not really flashy. He's a really two-way player, so he helps out in the attack and the defense, which is a huge help for Arsenal because you're looking at a team who had midfielders who attack and too much in the defense. With Lucas, though, not only are you getting that very two-way player, but you're getting a player who makes a lot of key passes and starts up your counterattacks. And that's something that Arsenal really lacked in last season. And with the attackers that they have now, I can see them being more lethal, especially starting up the counterattacks. So you're looking at a team that, they're not signing world-class players in their weakest positions, but you're looking at people who fit their system. Obviously, they also picked up Leno, who was huge for them because Peter Cech didn't have a shit season, but they like to get a younger goalkeeper just to fill that position, just because, Peter Cech's getting older. He's not going to be able to play the same like he used to. So in conclusion, Arsenal's on the winning side of the bracket. You're looking at a team that had weak links and then patched them up with obviously not world-class players, but just players that fit their system. This is good for the BPL for everyone who watches it because you're looking at a whole new Arsenal. It's just another competitive team coming to make the league a lot better. The next thing we have to talk about definitely has to be Real Madrid. It's not Real Madrid's fault that Perez, their president, is a fucking buffoon. You're looking at a team that lost the best player in the world, is losing Bale as well, and Benzema, who I don't really put a lot of trust in Benzema, but they're losing him. Okay, just to put that out there. He goes and signs 3 players all under the age of 20. We've seen Real Madrid go for players like Harry Kane and Neymar to fill these positions, but in all honesty, Real Madrid is just looking for players who aren't going to leave their clubs anytime soon. The reason why we're putting Real Madrid on the loser side of the bracket is because you're looking at a team that's just throwing money at these very popular players to kind of fill the positions of Ronaldo and potentially Bale and Benzema, instead of looking at players that are going to fit their system that will allow them to be dominant for the next 3 or 4 years. We're bringing up Liverpool. You're looking at a team that already had a very scary attack, a very good defense, and Van Dijk, Alexander-Arnold, Robertson. Lovren isn't the best, but he will do for now. The only part of their team that was very shaky was their midfield. But in this window, you're looking at them signing Naby Keita and Fabinho, playing alongside Henderson, he's not the best player as well as Lovren, but he will do. You're looking at Henderson, who plays very well in Klopp's system, along with Naby Keita, who's going to be a huge player when it comes to starting up counterattacks, opening up the play, making a lot of key passes, and the Fabinho, who's going to really help out that backline. Where Lovren really slacks, you're going to see Fabinho really helping out Van Dijk and the fullbacks. This just makes Liverpool a lot more dominant. With the team they already had making it to the Champions League final, placing 3rd in the BPL, you're looking at them to be, contenders for both competitions. It's going to hurt me to say this, but the last team that I want to talk about, putting on the losing side of the bracket, has to be Manchester United. Okay, I have no idea what they're doing with their team. Obviously, making the signing of Fred, who's a great player, but he's also a starting player. Looking for Savage, who's a great player as well, who's also a starting player. So you're looking at Fred, and then if we get Savage, and then Nemanja Matic, where does that leave Pogba? Okay, obviously in the World Cup, we've seen Pogba play absolutely amazing when he's not in Mourinho's system. So that might be a loss for us. Obviously, I think Pogba is way better than Savage and Fred when he plays to his full potential. And then one huge part about our team that really lacks is our backline. Okay, you're looking at Bailly, who's just injury prone. Phil Jones. Okay, you can be any team in the world, but you don't want to have Phil Jones back there. Chris Smalling and Rojo, who are 2 fucking pylons. Luke Shaw, who's just a chubby white kid. And then Lindelof just being a huge flop. So basically, Valencia is our only good defender in this situation. I don't think we need to touch our attack at the moment. They're all working well in the system. But if we lose Martial, like all these rumors coming up that he's going to Real Madrid, he's going to Bayern, blah, blah, blah. If we lose him, I think that's going to be a huge loss for us. Martial has so much potential to be one of the best wingers in the world, in my opinion. So in conclusion, you're looking at Manchester United just not making the appropriate signings to really buff up our backline, which is probably our downfall at the moment, and then having players like Pogba and Martial leaving, which would be a huge loss for our team in general. So the last team, the winners in my eyes at the moment, if I had a fucking trophy, I'd give it to these guys, has to be Juve. There's not really much to say. Okay, with the signing of Cancelo earlier in the transfer market, he's probably the best right back in the league, and just the way he plays is just fucking ridiculous. Okay, in the tournament right now, Juve just showing how good he really is. And then they go and sign Ronaldo, who is the best player in the world. Okay, there's not much to say about him. Having him around Douglas Costa and Dembala is just going to be fucking lethal. And then with Emre Can really buffing up that rotation with him, Matuidi, and Pjanic, which is what they really needed. At the end of this transfer window, if we see Pogba go back to Juve, that's it. Okay, this is the most dominant team in Europe. Okay, I'm not going to just sugarcoat it for anything. Right now, they're looking, like Liverpool, for contenders to be winning all competitions this year. You good? I'm just going to be straight up honest with this one. Okay, I'm not fucking good with outros. Okay, this is our 10th take. But if you agree or disagree, make sure you go down in the comments below. My Twitter is in the description if you guys want to stop being strangers, and make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you. Better? Yeah. Send this shit, send it.